Get some drinks there. It is Alonso and Arignosi, McGregor and Burkett.
This is the most intent we've seen McGregor run. I say something's going to happen after this portage. McGregor is going for it. This is going to break the group. This is a serious attempt by McGregor. He's going for it big time here. It's going to be Alonso getting in with him. Romalo's going to get in with him because he's the only one on the left. But McGregor is going now, and it's going seriously. Romalo's behind him. Alonso's behind him.
A great move from McGregor here, and he's really going for it now. We have been waiting for this. The first big attempt from anyone breaking up this group, and it's
Boris.
Hank McGregor. Hank McGregor is going for it now. Alonso is following, and so is Ramalho and Burkett. And Arignosi is also there.
Impressive from McGregor, but the others, the main contenders, they tracked him well. But again goes McGregor. He's got a length advantage, length and a half maybe.
And Alonso is approaching. Ramalho is struggling a bit. Burkett is there.
And Boris is the fifth man. It's a break started by McGregor. He hasn't broken the group completely. But Arignosi, who came in so strongly, he's suffering for that pre-portage excitement. And it's McGregor at the front, looking very strong.
Still going fast. They are still
McGregor pushing on again. It's 5 in the front group now.
This is hurting now.
So McGregor, Alonso, Romalo, Burkett and Boris. Alonso takes on the pool. Romalo will come round McGregor, push McGregor into the V. McGregor, no love lost between him and Boris. So Boris pushed out the back.
All of them seems eager now to keep up the speed and not let the big group form together once again. Alonso, Burkett, Ramalho, McGregor. Boris is the worst position there now.
Boris really needs to come round Romalo, and Romalo needs to drop back onto McGregor. You think?
And here it goes. Now they start shifting positions.
Burkett not having any of it. He's going up on the right-hand side. Romalo will track him. Alonso will fall back into the V. And still it's Boris.
Watch McGregor there. He immediately saw what was going to happen.
Boris moving up on Romalo. Romalo will let him have this. And now it's left to Alonso to take on McGregor on the right-hand side. As we go back to the portage. And we're back online, I think. So what you missed while you were away was McGregor ran a serious run on the last portage. He ran with intent and he got in first, made an attempt to paddle away. It was really Romalo and Alonso, the only two to follow him. And now we've got a group of 5 and the rotations begin. Boris and McGregor, another little coming together. McGregor doing the right thing, just falling back. He'll come round Alonso now. And it'll be Boris finding himself at the back of the group again. Interesting to see. No. Burkett's, and now the group's going to slow down. And Merchan back in touch. Jacob Adam back in touch. And the merry-go-round stops for now. So Hank McGregor made a serious move to break the group up. He did do some damage. It was a worthwhile effort, but everything's back to state normal again. Back at the tail end here with Germany, Ireland. Pete Egan in no rush to leave the landing stage. So a bit of excitement there. We apologise for the brief loss in live feed. But now the rotations have started in earnest. You can tell the guys are not happy anymore with the second wash. Boris is impressed. He's made it back from a very vulnerable position 10 minutes ago. McGregor paddling strongly. Boros will force Romalo into the V. Romalo happy for that to happen. And it will be Alonso who has to come around the outside of Burkitt.
Arjen also still within the group.
So here comes Alonso. He'll take Burkitt on. Burkitt will probably push up and lead from here. McGregor won't be too unhappy with that, provided Boros comes around his outside. So surprisingly, Alonso gone. No, he's only forced Burkitt into the lead. McGregor will be happy to be pushed back by Boros. And Romalo's left with some work to do. And round comes Aaron Yossi. Maybe not, maybe. So two of maybe the weaker paddlers in the second wash now. So we've got Jacob Adams and Aaron Yossi, and that should stop the rotations. At least for the time being. We'll leave Andy Burkitt at the front.
As long as he keep up the speed.
McGregor, who's done the best out of that, because he's ended the rotations in the V-wash.
And that will continue as long as Andy Burkitt keep up the speed. Immediately when he slows down, Arjen also and Adam Jakob will make an attempt.
So watching the Ukrainian run through the portage under Tim Cornish's eagle eye.
He is on around 30th position. Float over Ukraine, 31st, 7 minutes behind. Just before him is Dostal from the USA on 30th position. Back to the top group.
So that fell very well for Hank McGregor. When the rotation stopped, when the two weaker paddlers ended up on the second wash, McGregor was the one who was left in the diamond, and he should have that all the way to the top turn and maybe beyond.
Do you think it's team racing here?
I don't think so at this game. I think at this stage of the game, I think everyone's looking after themselves now. I think if it was team racing on the Hungarians' part, Aaron Yossi would go up the left and push Boros back into the V. Faria still trying to regroup with that front group. South Africans, maybe they're working together. I think each to his own at this stage, though. So they're just about to head round the top turn. So at the last portage,
At this top turn, they have done 16 kilometers, a little bit more than halfway through the race. Just a little bit more than halfway. So it's still quite a long way to go.
so Aaron Yossi gets squeezed on the buoy. That will push out Merchan from his wash. Jacob Adams struggling on the outside, going around this corner. Andy Burkitt just squeezing the pace just a little. Romalo looking comfortable. He's coming in on the inside of the group. maybe to take on Boros for that front wash. That would serve him well because it would push McGregor out. So Romalo moving up on Boros. And no, Boros takes the lead. McGregor stays in prime position. McGregor's just done some damage after the last portage, and ever since then has just been sat resting in the V-wash. Very good race from him so far. So McGregor safe in the V-wash. There's no one placed to come round and cut him out. Alonso will be happy where he is. Romalo happy where he is. No one in that group is going to be motivated to change the shape of the group at all. Only Jacob Adam, and he seems perfectly happy to sit where he is. So nice bit of relaxation down to the next portage where it will all kick off once again. So this race at the moment falling very well for Hank McGregor.
Once again, the crowd cheering Shuhei Goto from Japan.
So those in the grandstand, we know that our Japanese colleague who's just gone over there, his name is Goto. So next time round, we want to do Goto.
A bit of excitement from the on-site commentators there. Just down below us, Team Portugal, very keen on this race. Romalo, one of their big hopes. The C1 juniors have already delivered. So we're Hungary, Portugal, South Africa. A couple of Spanish just out of shot. Jacob Adam in the blue boat there. Now Merchan moves up through the group just a little.
He want a better wash for himself now.
Here goes Jacob Adam taking on Andy Burkett, who's having none of it. The group change isn't going to happen. Jacob Adam was pushed into that by Aaron Yossi of Hungary, who's still, no, it's all going to settle exactly as it was before all that kicked off.
We have seen Adrian Boros doing this before. Remember last year when he liked to stay in the pole position for quite a long time, controlling the race. So Adrian also and Adam Jacob will have some difficulties to really push Burkett from this wash, as long as Boros keep up the speed. I think he will try to do that into the portage. It's just 500 meters or so to go to the next portage. And that suits
here we go. This will change things now.
Yeah, this will
Alonso
change
coming round. This is all going to kick off. It's going to be three abreast for a while here. Alonso is going to want to go all the way to Boris's side.
And Hank McGregor discovered this.
Burkett held him off well, but Alonso's not going to give it up just yet. Could force Burkett to take the lead, but Boris doesn't want that either. They're so close to the portage now, just 300 meters to go. An expensive try there from Alonso, and a try that didn't result in a better position for him. And Hank McGregor still laughing all the way to the bank here. He's just absolutely fallen for him for the last 2,000 meters. He's done
perfect.
Absolutely nothing for 2,000 meters, and that's an 8-minute, or probably maybe a bit less at this speed, rest that he's had. And he will be loving life right now.
300 meters to the portage. can see some tendencies now, some imagination on how this will be figured out later on. Seeing Alonso trying to contest Burkett and Boros, and it didn't pay off.
And all those little those small contests are logged in their memory.
Yes.
Each one, they know how hard they tried to come past. If that was a full-on effort from Alonso, he knows he failed. That will be logged, and he needs to find a place where he can rest for a while.
You can see all the big names are in front now. It's Faria and Jacob and Arionoso in the back end of the group.
Just 100 meters to the portage now. Very relaxed for 100 meters to go.
They have already contested each other. The big names are happy with where they are. Don't want to put on any lactic acid before the portage.
Burkett moving right now. McGregor following him. Looks like McGregor's coming into this portage with some intentions as well. But it's Burkett
and it's Boros.
Boros leading into this. Romalo's going very hard on the outside of Boros. Nobody wants to leave McGregor uncovered this time. I think he caught a couple of them by surprise last time, but it's Burkett and Romalo. Romalo a bit slow out of his boat there.
Very
going
neat.
Back for it. McGregor, not the same attitude to this portage as to the last one by any means. Alonso through the drink station. Romalo running hard this time. Romalo running very hard this time.
McGregor to the drink station as well.
Burkett tracking him. But Romalo's got a couple of lengths on Burkett. McGregor knows now that he has to cover this. You saw a change in his attitude on the second half of that portage. McGregor very relaxed into that, but halfway through the portage, he knew he had to cover it. And Romalo, this will be a big effort from him. Two Spaniards are in trouble here. Second Hungarian also in trouble, but the two South Africans are safe, it seems. But Romalo, this is going to be a sustained effort. We'll try and keep you informed while the graphic covers the screen. It's Romalo from Burkett, 2 lengths down. It's McGregor. He's chasing hard to catch. To McGregor's right is Boros. To Boros' left
and Alonso.
Is Alonso with Merchant just behind him. The effort continues from Romalo. Back on screen now, so it's Romalo and Burkett. They've got a length on McGregor, who's the next bow you'll see in shot. There's McGregor. I think he's safe now. Boros is safe. Alonso, difficult position for him. He's number 5. And Merchant is not making any moves to close that gap. This is a serious gap now.
Romalo liked this development. He's a strong paddler. We have seen him doing this many times. He is strong enough, and he knows that he can be in top for a long time, for a long period of time. Remember the Europeans in Buchin when he did exactly this and break free and made the final stage of the race alone. But here he has the both South African together with him, and Boros and Alonso will make it as well.
So it's a front group of 5 now, and it looks like that's how it's going to stay. It's only really Jacob Adam who can have any say in that. Merchant's pretty much put his paddles down. He's given up the chase, it seems. But that group of 5 away, and that's going to be tough for someone. To me, McGregor looks the strongest in that top group.
Absolutely so, and now when Burkett is taking over, but McGregor is moving out on the right-hand side, and now it's Burkett in top and McGregor on his right-hand side and Ramalho on the left. And Alonso managed to get into V-wash there, while Boros has the worst position. Now, yeah, it's
McGregor
perfect for McGregor. And then McGregor once again is in the V-wash.
Alonso will come round and take on Romalo now. Pretty much immediately, I would think. We can't travel at this speed. We don't want to travel at this speed on the second wash. So here comes Alonso. He's going to take on Romalo. Romalo will be happy with that. Now, the first person you see who wants to stop this rotation, I can tell you is going to be the weakest guy in the field. And it's a shame we're not seeing that, but McGregor is just going around the outside of Boros. Boros happy to let that happen. He feels confident that he can continue the rotations. Romalo will come round Alonso, and so the game goes on. McGregor moving up, that might change it. Burkitt stopped. So the one who's going to suffer from that is Alonso, but no. McGregor not going to press on too hard. So Alonso will come round Boros. And I'm interested to see what Burkitt's got here. We haven't seen him come round yet. Boros still happy to let the rotations continue. Burkitt too slow to drop out of that V. Maybe he knows it might not form as we thought. Romalo come round McGregor. McGregor will take out Burkitt. So Burkitt now, I think, will be the one that's happy to sit. He's happy to sit second wash out. And again, when the rotations have stopped, who's ended up in the V-wash is McGregor.
Here comes
And
Jakob.
unbelievably, Jacob Adam returns to that front group as the front group stops. Boros takes it on, but it's too late. Jacob Adam is back. I'm not sure if Merchan will make it. Hank McGregor looking like he's got a little bit of leg ache there, leaning back, trying to get a bit of blood back into his legs and backside. So Merchan with some decisions to make now. Could spend an awful lot of energy trying to get a more secure position in this group. But I think he doesn't fancy the idea of rotating the group round. I think Pete Egan from Ireland might have paid the cameraman. There's not a single portage where he hasn't been on shot. That's the influence the Egan family have over the world of canoeing. At the front though, Boros, Burkitt, Romalo, Adam. In the V now, Alonso, and Merchan's moved up. To my mind, at this stage, McGregor's never been stressed. Boros has been stressed, Merchan's been stressed, Romalo not so. I think Burkitt has a couple of times. Jacob Adams certainly has been under pressure a couple of times. So the three for me at the moment, Romalo, Alonso and McGregor, are the ones who've been untroubled so far. Merchan just looking like he's thinking of going around Burkitt sometime soon. Blowing a bit on the outside of that group at the moment. I think he'll just take a couple of minutes recovery and maybe take on Andy Burkitt for that side wash.
Soon up to the 20-kilometer mark, with another 9 kilometers to go. Boros looks strong. So does Ramalho. Burkett. This is really open. Still.
I think Merchant's pretty much spent. Jacob Adam hasn't got the turn of speed the others have. He gets left behind every time something happens. So they're maybe the two weaker ones in that group. Faria, still in the chase.
Heilinger.
And still Heilinger with him.
Arion also have given his best. Just 100 meters now to the turn, when they have done 20 kilometers out of 29.8 to be precise.
Nothing like a bit of Scandinavian precision, Stefan.
The wind has increased slightly now on this lap. It's quite bumpy up there.
That's where they are now. The lake opens out to their right, so the waves have a little bit of a longer fetch before they reach the paddlers, and it just gets a little bit choppy up there. Boros is impressing at the front now. He's been there for a long time and setting a decent pace.
Saw him doing that last year for quite many laps and using that bottom turn they had in the Gjør last year on a very, very good way. Now he's giving it up to no one wants to make a move there.
Take this. Faria's only just behind. Oh, Alonso and Merchant have just had a strong word at the back of the field there, the back of the group. I know that they come from two very different camps in Spain now, whereas they used to be buddies, maybe not so much anymore. Jacob Adam, he's not work shy. Alonso is going to force it, wants to force change, which he's done very successfully. He'll drop back maybe, or just slow it down now. Boros tracks him.
McGregor alone on the right-hand side.
First time we've
coming
seen
up
McGregor
there
on the outside of the group. So maybe we'll see him come all the way around to the front sometime soon. You can see how big the waves are there. McGregor moving out. And Boros very happy to move in even before McGregor got there. Ramalho will take on Burkett. Burkett doesn't want to get involved with the circulation anymore. And to me, that says Burkett's feeling it just a little.
Now it's higher speed once again. McGregor is counting on Burkett there to take on the lead.
This is expensive for Burkett and Ramalho now.
Also for Alonso.
You can see what damage it's doing to the group. The waves don't form nicely. McGregor moving up now. Alonso's done the job, and if Ramalho's quick, he can get that V. But no, McGregor's having none of that. He's going to wait for Boros to come through. Great paddling from McGregor there. That was perfect from him. Whichever way the group falls now, McGregor's tucked back in the middle of it.
Quite unusual development here, side by side, instead of forming a group. Forcing Alonso to take it on.
So McGregor totally in control of that last rotation, even though he's not at the front. totally untroubled in the back of this pack.
A little bit surprised that Ramalho isn't doing anything.
It was an expensive move from Romalo not to finish it off there. Looks like Merchan might have been detached from the group on that last move. Again, Romalo moves up. This time, Burkitt's had enough. I think maybe Burkitt's fading slightly.
It's not a normal rotation anymore.
Why would Burkitt go to the outside of Romalo when Alonso's still leading? He could have been where McGregor is now on the leading V, but he chose to go on the outside. It seems a crazy move. McGregor having a word with somebody. Maybe the camera boat. Certainly unhappy about something, McGregor there. Or maybe it's the two, maybe he's just pointing out to the leaders. There's two guys to the right, moving up. One of them's Merchan, the other one must be...
Merchan riding the wash of the camera boat there.
Maybe it's Faria on the right-hand side. Now they're coming across to that right-hand group. So it looks like that right-hand group's doing some damage. So Alonso moving over. So it's McGregor that it is Faria doing the damage with Merchan. It was McGregor that saw that first. Tells you a lot about McGregor that he's the one who's relaxed. He's the one who's got eyes everywhere for what's happening in this race. And he was the one who told them they need to sort themselves out and cover the move on their right-hand side. Everything points to the fact that McGregor is still in charge of this race, even from the back of the group. So I didn't think we'd see Faria back in this front group. And Heilinger also just behind. That's what happens when it gets tactical. You can tell how slow the average speed is when groups behind catch up, but it's not about average speed in the front group. It's about change of pace. And so far, McGregor has hidden himself from that change of pace for the last 2 laps, and that will absolutely play into his hand in the latter stages.
They still have 3 more portages to do, so it's 3 more full laps for them to do. Still a long way to go.
So, next portage, 100 metres away. It's the spider cam for the portage. Burkitt on the far side. Romalo moving up. Alonso. Faria. Merchan looks troubled at the back there. McGregor relaxed. Boros comfortable. And Romalo disappointingly slow out of his boat on these portages. He's going through the drink station. It's Alonso this time.
Not a so successful portage for McGregor. He missed a little bit coming into the pontoon. Dropped off a couple of meters. Trying to catch up now running over the portage.
Burkitt and Boros having a bit of a coming together on the run. Boros wants to squeeze Burkitt out. They're both carrying on the left, and Boros needs to get the boat in before him. So Romalo maybe Romalo will make a little move here. It would be worth his while because McGregor is tailing off. He could get 4 lengths, 5 lengths on McGregor and go. He needs to have a look behind, but he hasn't done that. That was a missed opportunity from Alonso and Romalo there.
Absolutely.
They had a chance
They really didn't recognize that McGregor had problems.
No, that was poor racing from Romalo and Alonso. They could have done a little bit of damage.
He missed getting up from his boat in a proper way. McGregor coming into the ponton there, missed slightly.
Now Romalo's put his paddles down and the group will reform. And I think when they watch this video back, they'll live to regret that one. There was a small window of opportunity to do McGregor some damage that hasn't been done so far, and now he's rejoining the group in a very comfortable position.
On a perfect way. Catching the V-wash once again.
He's going to go around the outside of Alonso, who's taking up the lead. I think Alonso's fairly motivated to leave Merchan behind now. Jacob Adam takes it up because he doesn't want to be second washout. There's so much stress in that group now. People are getting tired. They don't want to enter into this rotation. So McGregor 8 seconds down on Romalo at that portage at one point, and that was an 8 seconds that wasn't capitalised on. South Africans breathing a sigh of relief there. But the front two were caught napping. Seems crazy that they didn't take advantage. You don't get many opportunities to hurt a paddler like McGregor. And they just let that one slip by and did nothing. I do believe Stefan has stolen the chocolate biscuits from the competition committee's room. Now that, if you know how the system works around here, that is a crime punishable by death. Alonso Romalo moving up, put Hank in the V-wash. Hank must be laughing after that.
Interesting to look at the race there. Also he's paddling 20.
One of the Portuguese team leaders just told me that from the express of their faces, he's quite convinced Ramalho will win this.
No.
That's interesting.
You can't be convinced of that. With the athletes still in the pack, to me, Hank McGregor, we've seen him win so many times. I know you're a big fan of Hank McGregor. I'm not such a big fan of Hank McGregor. I appreciate his qualities and I appreciate the fact that he wins most of these races. I do think he'll win this one, but I would like to see someone take him on. The best race I think he did was Copenhagen, where he made no mistakes. Last year wasn't so convincing. This year, one mistake maybe at that portage and no one made him pay, and that to me is wasted.
Yeah, I've had such a successful year this year, winning the Berg, winning the Molokai, winning the South African selection race. Having done so much over this season. But he decided quite late to participate here, actually.
Crowd seeing their opportunity for a moment of fame there. Jim whipping them up into a frenzy of excitement, as he always does. A little bit of shake on the camera, but I think it's the German out to the left, maybe. I feel a little bit queasy watching that picture. Merchan back in the group again.
when Alonso is pulling.
The pace is slow, but that does not mean that it's easy sitting in that group. It's the constant change, the constant dance at the front there. See McGregor coming around the outside. He wants to move things on a bit. He could be hoping to steal a couple of lengths on that right-hand side and break the group. You're going to have to look at him fairly quickly.
Interesting move there from McGregor.
Group's moving over in no hurry though. It looks like there wasn't an impressive move. It's Faria out on the right and Alonso still struggling. Was that Romalo out on the right? Sorry. So McGregor didn't end up leading after that anyway. So it's really slow out there now. Nobody really wants to put in. Only a couple of laps left now. And that's when the race really begins in earnest. So Romalo to the left of Alonso leading. McGregor in the V-wash again. Not put a foot wrong in this race so far. Just that 1 week portage. I'm not sure there's anyone left in the group now with enough change of pace to take on McGregor, should he still be there at the last 500 metres. Back in touch with the group now, Heilinger. Great day out for him. Do you see anyone in there with the speed to trouble McGregor over the last 100 metres, Stefan?
Oh,
So you have to do some damage at some stage.
could be Boros.
Could be Boris, he was second last year, and I don't think he believed he could beat McGregor in the sprint finish last year, but then in the K2s they did, so maybe that belief is in there now. Maybe, yeah, maybe that's a good call. Maybe Boris. The others have all been beaten too many times by McGregor. I still hold out hope for Romalo.
Soon at the 23.4 kilometer mark, with another 6.5 kilometers to go. Coming down here again to the portage, they have only one big lap before the final decisive portage. Very nice. Alonso leaving room for Amalio on the inner side. Good sportsmanship there. Merchan also get through in a good way. And McGregor controlling everything from the V-wash there.
And back comes Norwegian
Morten Minde back in the group again.
Unbelievable. So you can see how slow the average speed is at the front there. McGregor moving up. Alonso and Romalo want to be to the left of McGregor if he's leading.
There's been a pattern here on this race. When Alonso is leading, the speed decreases quite a lot.
But I've never seen Alonso win a finishing sprint.
No.
He must have won in Rome. I don't remember how that panned out. I wasn't commentating that year. I've never seen him win a finishing sprint.
He's not eager to set the speed anyway, so
Barry Watkins back in that group also. So he's come back with Morten Minde into the group. Barry Watkins has a turn of speed that could play in the last 500 metres if he can get himself over the portages.
And Heilinger, we don't know his ability.
He has to be tired, Heilinger, surely.
Yeah. Very big group now again. Faria is also back there. McGregor in top. No one is willing to do any big effort now. It's just one big lap to go.
It's the first time, though, McGregor's put himself in a position to be strong on the portage. He did one good portage, but even that was from behind, and he ran by. If he gets into the portage in the first two, I think McGregor could well shred this field at this stage. It will be whoever's lucky enough to be on his side when he goes. Could be just one or two people come out of this portage with McGregor if he runs with intent.
I think they really will contest each other into this portage.
I think McGregor's going to dominate now from there into the portage. And I think this portage is going to be a serious display of what McGregor's capable of. I think the only people who can match him on running is Romalo. Boros maybe.
Yeah, I remember last year the contest there. Boros running over that portage.
Merchant hasn't got enough left to match them on the run. I would love to see Barry Watkins come out of this portage in contention, because I think he is one of the people in this field who can make the finishing sprint interesting. So McGregor, Burkitt, Romalo, they're three best placed for this portage. Merchan out to the right of Romalo as we see it here. Mindy on the far outside. Jacob Adam on the far left. Then tucked in the back, Boros, Alonso and Watkins.
Can you feel the tension now? It's building up now. And I think it's building up also in the group now.
I think definitely in the group now.
Building up adrenaline and
to the portage.
Everyone nervous, very eager to save strength, but not lose any good positions.
Alonso sitting comfortably. Watkins also there. Boros.
It looks like if they have some respect for McGregor now. No one is eager to contest him. They know he wants to be in the pole position into this portage. They will wait and wait and wait until the final stage of the portage, and then a move will come from the back end of this group, trying to create positions for themselves.
I think it's very dangerous to allow McGregor into the portage first.
Yes. But
you've got to be very confident on your running. Romalo hasn't been clean out of his boat yet.
He's looking over his shoulder now, increasing speed slightly.
Just wants to know where everyone is.
I think he's looking for Boros.
I think he also is looking for Boros.
Remembering last year. Remembering last year in that beach in Gear.
Very well. Alonso, he needs to know where he is.
Boros is not very well positioned here.
Not for this portage. If If McGregor runs, as we know he can, Boros is in a lot of trouble on this portage. It's only really Alonso and Romalo. Maybe Burkett.
Yeah, maybe Burkett.
I'm nervous. And I'm not
Yeah,
being
me
out
too.
there.
Me too. It's worse sitting here than being there.
Well, define worse, Stefan. I mean,
For the nerves, I
for the
mean.
nerves it is. There's nothing you can do.
Burkett have done a great race so far, a little bit in the shadow. But he have been there all the time in the top.
Always been there or thereabouts. I think McGregor will choose to come to the left of the pontoon to hold off Romalo.
It's just a 150 meter to go now to the portage, and it's one long lap still after this portage, but it will be decisive now.
So McGregor likes to carry the boat on his right-hand shoulder, I think. I think that's what we've seen before. But he's got Romalo to his left. So
Here they goes. Here they go.
It's kicking off now.
Ramalho is taking
It's
it on.
gonna be McGregor to the right of the pontoon, Romalo to the left. They're the two best runners in the field. Alonso looking okay still. Burkett puffing a little bit there. Boros not well positioned for this at all.
And no mistakes now, guys.
So McGregor definitely approaching this with intent. Romalo knows he has to cover it.
No
Romalo
mistakes.
lets go of his boat. It's these two. Once that boat's on his shoulder, McGregor is going to run, but Romalo matches him stride for stride. These two could be away here. This is a serious run for both these two. Barry Watkins doing well. He's 4th or 5th on this portage.
Watch them now. They are really, really going for it. Both
Alonso,
Ramalho
Burkett, Watkins.
McGregor and Ramalho side by side.
Boros is not going to make this. It's Romalo. Romalo's first away. McGregor following him. Alonso. These are the three big players.
And Burkett.
Still with them. Boros somehow has stayed in touch with that group, and I'm very impressed by that. What did Watkins do? He was 5th on the run, and now look at him. That's such a. I would love to have seen Watkins up there for the end, but it's not going to happen. I don't think now.
He dropped his boat and lost control of his boat when he put it into the water.
It looks like Merchant's maybe got rudder trouble out there.
It's Ramalho and it's McGregor and it's Burkett and it's Alonso, and Boros managed to run through these portages in a very, very good way. He is a very fast runner, Boros. He didn't come in on a good position to the portage, but he's running really, really fast over it, and now the race is on.
Hugely impressed by Boros there. He looked like he was in trouble at the start of that portage. He looked like he was in trouble even halfway down the portage.
But we know he's a good runner, and he used
so
that.
Clean. This has fallen very well for Alonso. I don't think Romalo will let Burkett round his outside, no.
And now it's appropriate team racing. It's Burkett and it's McGregor and it's Ramalho.
So Romalo's happy to drop back. Now Burkett's leading. McGregor confident. But it's Burkett from Romalo, from Boros, who will end up with the wrong end of this. McGregor ends up positioned beautifully again. I would have expected more from McGregor coming into that portage first, Stefan. I would have thought he would make at least a bigger break than that. Take Romalo on, maybe.
He made a jump in on the boat to the boat very safe, not especially rapidly.
I think maybe if Romalo hadn't been with him on the run, maybe he would have tried harder.
Yeah.
I thought, maybe, as I thought with Romalo last time, that he made a mistake by not going after that portage. I think maybe it was a bit of an opportunity.
But it is 20 or 30 meter gap now to the second group. Second group led by, I think it's Morten Minde actually.
The speed continues. A little bit of conversation there in the front of this group. Alonso not happy to be second washout. There's constantly churning again. McGregor comes round the outside. Surprised that Boros let him have it that easily, because it's Boros that's going to have to go around the outside of Burkitt again. There's the chasing pack.
Headed by Morten Minde.
There goes Boros around the outside of Burkitt.
And Hank
Marlow in
McGregor
the
looks
lead.
fresh.
Burkitt's having none of it at the moment. Burkitt unhappy to let this rotation continue. And if Boros is going to go past him, it's probably going to mean that he ends up leading.
Ramalho has a good ride now.
There it is. Boros did end up leading after all that. Even if it's only a temporary state of affairs, we'll see what happens when we get back to them. But that was the only way that Boros was going to change the shape of the group that he was unhappy with. Josh Kippin running through the portage there with 5.54, which is Fredriksson of Denmark. Oh, it's brutal now in that front group. McGregor establishing a little bit of dominance. Ramalho goes around Burkitt. Burkitt squeezes out. It's going to be Boros again. Boros is getting the brunt of this. I think it's Boros that's paying the highest price here. But now, if Boros comes around Ramalho, Burkitt is the least likely to continue this rotation. So I'm surprised that Boros has stopped. He had one more to do, and I think he would have been safe. Oh, the reason he stopped is because we've been joined again by Jacob Adam. I'm really pleased for Jacob Adam that he's still in the group at this stage. We haven't seen him contesting in the front group for a long, long time. I think that's the bow of Morten Minde's boat, just in sight there. And it seems to me, oh no, Merchan is still just tapping along. He's got a lift back with these two guys, and he's still in contention. So Boros, happy to sit second wash out for now.
Hank is setting up the speed now. Just enough to make the guys on the outer wash suffering a little bit.
Quite impressed with Merchan. After the portages, every time when he's got dropped, he's had a look round to see who's going to give him a lift back to the front. We've never seen him do the work to get back to that front group. Maybe he's not strong enough to do it, but he certainly used the other competitors in the field to his advantage. And still, he's mixing it in the front group with the other guys.
He was second at the Europeans, and Boros were third, and Ivan Alonso was fourth. So he has shown he has the capacity also this summer.
McGregor just taking the pressure off his backside again there. He's been doing that since the second or third lap, now squeezing on the pace. Now they're travelling. Burkitt found himself in a great position. Just one portage left to go, and then 500 metres.
And the top turn there is just 2.8 kilometers from finish. Burkitt is having a good ride there now on the E-wash.
really all their thoughts, I would imagine, are already on the next portage. I know it's 5 or 6 minutes to go yet, but that's what they'll be thinking about.
This is
Barry
Faria.
Watkins, what a shame for Ireland there. 5th on the run. I didn't see him drop his boat, but you did, Stefan.
Yes, he lost control over it.
Such a shame. It would have been great to see him contest the finish of this race. A lot of support for Merchan coming through on the live feed. I think he can't do it, but his supporters think he can.
"40 years old, Merchan, Emilio Merchan. I've done so much on the marathon courses over the years. Finished second at the European Championships and proposed actually to his girlfriend at the podium after the race.
She refused, of course.
In Pontevedra.
So McGregor not pushing it on. Just looks a little bit uncomfortable in his seat to me. He keeps shifting the backside.
Yeah, it's something there.
Merchan resting at the back of the group. Along with Morten Mind there on the far side. He's been on the tail of this group so many times today. Never really made it into the stronger positions. As we go around the top turn.
2.8 kilometers more to go. 1.5 to the portage. McGregor showing good sportsmanship there, leaving good room for everyone around the boys.
I think it's a fairly tough decision these days with the 10-second penalties. Yeah, if he pushes too much, he could well be on for a 10-second penalty on the last portage. Who wants that?
Now he's fed up doing the work in front.
Merchan looks like he missed a buoy, and he's gone back round, so he's out of this now. He has to be.
Merchan missed the ball. Is that true?
I just saw him paddling back to go around the buoy. Whether he was pushed inside it or not, we don't know. It's a shame we don't have a replay, but if anyone online saw that, it'd be great to know exactly what happened.
So McGregor adjusting himself in the boat once again. Something is definitely wrong with him, with his seat or something like that. He's keep on adjusting himself.
Dave Hitchcock online's getting nervous for Hank. He's saying Hank's got to go now. I think that's a bit premature. Hank's still well in control. Would love to know what happened to Merchan there. Barry Watkins made contact with the group again. Maybe he can come out of this portage in contention. So, Boros looking dangerous on the outside of this group now. With the pace this slow, he'll be resting. McGregor resting. Everyone resting. Faria, there's Merchan. That is one unhappy man right there. Just about 2,000 metres left to go now. One more portage.
Everyone just resting, including Alonso in front. Anything could happen at any time now.
Merchan moving up on the left side of the group. He's not out of it
back.
yet.
He's back.
He's not out of it yet. The pace is so slow from Alonso. Alonso very aware of where Merchan is, though. It's going to be very hard for him to get a good position before the portage. But he's still not off the group. Romalo looking good. Burkitt, though, also Everyone's looking good at this.
Yeah,
The pace is
absolutely
so
so.
slow now. Everyone's getting a bit of a rest. There's Merchant. He's going to fight his way back in.
Very risky approaching the portage in such a big group. Anything could happen. But it's also difficult to make an attempt on the free water out there.
As it stands, it'll be the first time Romalo's had to go to the right of the portage pontoon. Don't know if he'll try and change that. He seems to like the
Here comes
left-hand
Boros.
side. I think Boros could do some damage.
Absolutely so. McGregor is a little bit stuck inside there now. But he's having a good ride on the other hand, so
If it stays like this and McGregor comes out the portage in the first 4, it's very hard to bet against him. In the background there, Mike Leverett plugging away still.
and Marchand is coming now, joining the group.
He was tucked in the back a while ago, but he's gone round a couple, and he's hoping to come in towards the front of the group, I would think. Faria on that right-hand side, as we look at it, is still in front of Merchant.
There he is. Quite impressive coming back from having been forced to back and take the boy on the right side. Oh, this is
One of the
really-
reasons that I think the group is this size now is that these new boats wash out exactly like our old wide-back boats did. So the washes are much easier to find in these boats than they have been in any of the other skinny boats so far. And I think that contributes. We saw for so long just a front group of 2, 3, 4 maybe. But now it's back to what I'm going to call the good old days, Stefan. When wash hanging was wash hanging. And men were men. Always much harder back in those days. But no, everything to play for here.
They all know they've got to get past him if they're going to win this race.
It seems from a comment online that Merchant
Just
wasn't
for-
forced inside that buoy. He just missed it.
Yeah, he
on
just
his own.
missed it. Yeah,
Craziness.
it's just 400 meters now to go to
Thanks
for the
for that
porches, and
information, Brett.
now they are building it up. Now they are
Now it's
coming,
kicking off.
and
And this is serious stuff now. Be really interesting. McGregor's a little bit stuck in the back,
he is.
but it's Romalo, I think, that's taking this on. McGregor's going to come up his inside. Boros held off by McGregor. That's bad news for Boros, but great news for the South African fans. It's Romalo. Boros left wanting there. That was very strong by McGregor. There really shouldn't have been a gap for McGregor. Boros was caught napping, and McGregor saw it instantly.
I thought Boris' tactic would have been to just wash hanging McGregor there, but it was something else going on. Boris turned left and went into the backwash once again. Probably trusting his ability to run fast. He is a really fast runner, Boris.
We've got all the main runners at the front of the pack now.
Just 100 meter to go now to the portage. All together. Faria is up there. Ramalho, he's a fast runner.
Romalo is fast.
We can see the bow of Boros coming in there now.
He gets his choice. He'll go to the left of the landing stage, Romalo. He's done that every time so far.
They're waiting
McGregor
and
will
waiting
want to
and
go
waiting.
right, so he'll take Boros to the right with him. Here goes McGregor moving out now. Romalo needs to check to his right because McGregor's speeding up. And it's Romalo and McGregor, Boros, Burkitt.
It was not the full contest into this portage.
McGregor and Romalo. Romalo's going to be out first, and he's going to run. McGregor comfortable. Burkitt comfortable. Alonso. So
And watch McGregor
trying to run
now,
past.
side by side. Ramalho and
This
McGregor,
is turning into a
Burkett,
running race.
Alonso as
Unbelievable
well.
run. McGregor playing up to the crowd. He's confident.
He's really confident.
thinks
He's
he's got it.
smiling. He's smiling over the porches. He loves this.
McGregor
Ramalho
thinks he's got it, and
and
if he comes out of this portage first, I'm going to tend to agree with him. But Romalo's in his boat quickly. Romalo's away.
and it's
McGregor's
Ramalho. It's
away.
McGregor.
Burkett could be in a good position here, but no one, I'm going to say no one from this point on is going to get in front of McGregor. For McGregor, it's job done. I know I said that in the K2 last year, but I'm saying it again now.
What a race! Absolutely amazing. McGregor, Ramalho, Burkett.
Romalo gave it his best shot on that portage. He ran as fast as he could, but McGregor outran him. Was clean running.
Did you watch McGregor's face over the porches? He was just smiling and just run. Just flying away there on his fast feet.
So this is McGregor's to lose now. Romalo, I don't think, has got the power to overtake. No.
Maybe Burkett. Alonso is still with him.
Well, Boros is coming back into
Yeah,
that
Boros
group.
is coming back.
He's the one, maybe only Boros. On
He
that
hasn't
finishing
given up.
sprint. Alonso's going round Burkett. He wants to get up to the side of McGregor. Boros coming to the inside of the group. So here comes Boros.
A bit difficult position now for McGregor. He
There's
really
no
wants
way,
to.
No way Romalo is going to let Boros cut him into the V from here, though. Boros happy to see in that
Burkett
V
coming
wash.
up there. Maybe Burkett will help to keep the speed a little bit there. Difficult position to stay in front for these coming 1,000 meters. Five paddlers into
People
the
online
final
telling me
turn.
it's not over.
It's not over, not at all.
Stefan's telling me it's not over. He told me that last year. Turned out he was right. But I'm saying it's over. It's so hard. Hank has such good acceleration. It's going to be very hard to match that. He's speeding up, coming into the final turn. Boros is the only one resting at this stage. So maybe Boros, but it's a long way round. He's got to drop half a length to get out the V and to close a length and a half on Hank. I can't see it happening. Surely I can't look foolish 2 years in a row.
On the other hand, Hank is doing most of the hard work now, coming up to the final turn there. It's a strong wind in his nose, and Boros is resting behind him. But Boros didn't look really comfortable into the portage.
No, he didn't. He had a bad position into the portage, but he's closed them down afterwards, and he's still in with a shout.
Into the final turn now. Maybe have the cameras there. Would be decisive. There they are.
Everyone online's got an opinion now. It's great to see.
Into the final turn.
Romalo's fans are on there. Boros, he's being told to get off the diamond by the South Africans. Burkett's fans are coming on now. It's all go on the water, on the internet, in the commentary box. The pressure is building and building. I just can't see how anyone can overtake McGregor
It's
from
double
here.
South Africa now. Ramalho is struggling a little bit, coming back there. McGregor is going for it now.
Alonso.
Burkett, Alonso.
That was Alonso's effort. That's him done. He's out. Romalo still looking half decent. Boros not even in the picture. But there's the
Absolutely,
Valdez
Ramalho
boat.
is looking very decent.
I think Boros is hoping to pick up one of the smaller medals at this stage.
Altogether, once again, 400 meters more to go.
My credibility hangs strongly on McGregor finishing this job off now.
He will just wait until someone contest him. He's not going to do any more hard work if he's not contested now.
He has to keep the speed high enough to stop the others fancying their chances. At some stage, Boros has to come out of that V-wash. if
What-
he's going to contend for a win, unless he's settled for second or third, in which case he can leave it much later. But here's McGregor.
And now
Here
he's
goes
going
Burkett.
for it.
Here
He's
goes
really
Ramalho.
going for it. Ramalho is following, and it's
He's
Ramalho
gone
is
wide. It's only Ramalho and McGregor now.
it's Ramalho and McGregor.
No one can touch McGregor. He's
No,
got
no
another-
one.
he's got
Oh,
another gear.
look at this!
Burkett's
What a
going
race!
in on
It
Ramalho
is just
on the
was.
wash. And it's McGregor
Oh,
all
it's
the way.
McGregor, South Africa, McGregor, and it's double South Africa. Hank McGregor, his 6th gold medal, and Andy Burke is his 2nd, and Ramalho is 3rd. What a triumph what a race for South Africa.
2 for South Africa. Burkett was the beneficiary of McGregor's fantastic finish. It's the small things that irritate
Yeah.
me, Stefan, though. It's the little hand just before the finish. It doesn't sit well with me. I'm uncomfortable with that. I really appreciate his talent, all of that, but that just doesn't sit well with me.
He's one of these characters.
And the sport needs characters like that.
Absolutely
needs characters
so.
that divide opinion. He is the world's best. There's no doubting that. He's been the world's best for some time, but he irritates the hell out of me when he does that. But credit to McGregor. He took that from the last portage. At least he saved my blushes by not letting me down on my predictions. And what a fantastic race that was.
Absolutely
from
amazing.
so many people who did so well in that race. We've failed to keep you informed of who's finishing where after that front group, but it was Ramalho 3rd, Burkett 2nd. After that, I apologise for really not paying attention. Hats off to Hank McGregor. He did nothing wrong in that race. One poor portage that the others failed to disagree with. Failed to disagree with? What am I talking about? Failed to capitalise on. I'm losing the plot here in commentary. Really exciting finish there. In comes Mike Leverett now. Got to be pleased with that.
And Hank is going back and cheering, letting himself be cheered by the crowd. He's really, really happy. And next year, it's the World Championship in South Africa.
If there's one race he wants to win, should he ever retire, it will be that one. It's probably his last opportunity, not to win a race, but certainly to win a World Championships in his home country.
Absolutely so. And he was very, very unsure to participate here this year. He just decided in the last couple of weeks to come here. So successful this summer, Hank McGregor. I better go down
Hats
and
off
see if
to
I
Hank
can
McGregor. I'll
grab
let
him
Stefan
for an
interview
interview.
him. Stefan, one of Hank's biggest fans worldwide, I think.
I always
So I'd
fancy
hate
good
to, I'd hate
characters
to take
and
that
good athletes.
opportunity from Stefan. So we'll wait up here while Stefan goes down. Keith Moore across the finish line there. He'll be a little bit disappointed, I think, with his day today. He's done such a good job with all the guys at Chelmsford Canoe Club. I'm sure they're watching him out here today. He's been their leader for the last 3, 4, maybe even 5 years. He's brought them all up, and they're doing well off the back of his efforts. And it just wasn't his day today. 5.57 across the line there. That's Nikolai Black from Denmark. He's got about 100 metres to go. What a great race. Hank McGregor, as good today as he was in Copenhagen 2 years ago, didn't put a foot wrong. Maybe you could pull him up on just that one portage. He was the beneficiary of some slack business by the Spanish and the Portuguese there. that was the one opportunity they had to do him some damage. They failed to capitalise, and they paid a heavy, heavy price for that. No Spaniards in the medals this year. Andy Burkett finally gets the World Championship result he's been promising for a few years now. Spoke to the South Africans earlier this weekend, and they said he was on form. To be fair, they always say that about their athletes, but they did seem confident that he was in better form than he has been in previous years. Thanks for your comments, Ian. Online. Appreciate the sentiment there. And fair comment too. But everyone has an opinion, and that's what makes sport so great. We have athletes we respect, we have athletes we love. They don't always have to match up. Really good race there from everyone concerned. Some great comments coming in online. Josh Kippen now, he's going to be the next finisher. Great to see how emotional people get online watching these things, as we do in the commentary box.
Hank McGregor, once again, congratulations, great victory.
Thanks very much. It was a fantastic race against the top class field, the best of the best, and to come out on top, I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I think that's my 7th world title, so I'm really happy.
You made an attempt in the middle of the race to break free, but then just stayed in control.
Yeah, look, I just wanted to make some of the big names a little bit tired, and just to assert myself that I wasn't tired and I was actually fresh, and just moving from diamond wash to diamond wash and conserving energy, being an Ivan Lawler, if you want to put it that way, and until the time that really counts, which is the last portage and that final 1 kilometer to the finish.
Yeah, and you decided to come here quite late. When I visited South Africa in March, you weren't sure to come here, but you have had a marvelous summer this year.
Yes, I've had a fantastic time. I've won some big international surf ski races. I managed to win the Molokai again and Mauritius, and from now on I'll move on to surf ski races for the rest of the year. And but before I do that, I've got a K2 race to tomorrow and racing with my partner, and hopefully we can rectify the result that happened last year.
And next year, the World Championships in South Africa.
Yes, I think next year I'll take up the sub-vet category, because I'll be 39 years old, and maybe it's my last year in sub-vets, and maybe I'll give it a go and see if I can win another category and let somebody else win the seniors.
Wow. Once again, congratulations. Hank McGregor.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks.
What a great interview there from Hank, and a great champion. Absolutely phenomenal. The best out there today. He confirmed exactly what we saw watching the race, all of us. He made no mistakes. He went from V-wash to V-wash, conserved energy, and absolutely blistered around that last 1,000-meter lap. No one was going to touch him from the portage, and total dominance. True champion. And a great, great racer. So hard to see anyone can beat him. He mentioned racing in the Masters. I can't see that happening for a long time. All the time he fancies chance in the main race, he's going to be taking on the big guns, and the big guns aren't going to enjoy that. So we look forward to seeing Hank next year, and I think for a few years to come. Pete Egan and Eric Verduct finishing there. Messages pouring in online now. Just the stragglers to come in. Well-placed confidence online from all the South African fans. A 1-2 in a race, the first race of the weekend that saw Hungary fail to medal, and that says a lot. And to get 2 people in the medals in that race is an extraordinary achievement. .587 there. Jusaracek from Slovenia crossing the line.
I tried to say as much as I can, but it was stronger. It was feeling okay in the last point. I have to struggle a little bit against it. But even that, I was feeling okay, and I tried to
Patchy, just to keep you all on your toes here, just one of the officials has just come into the commentary box, and tongue-in-cheek granted, but if you go back over the finish line in these races, apparently that's a disqualification offence. So it would seem very, very wrong if the race ended like that, and I wouldn't want to see that. I don't think anyone out there would want to see that, but I don't know. Really, no, I can't have that. I think a man who's done what he's just done, been at the peak of his form against the rest of the world, can't be disqualified for milking his moment on a trip.
José Ramalho, bronze medal. May I say congratulations?
Of course, a medal is a medal, and I'm very happy to get this third place.
Tell us about the race. You looked really relaxed, and we commentated on that quite a lot.
Yes, I tried to save my strength to the end, and I tried to relax much as I can. Of course, this wind and these waves, we struggled a little bit, but in the end, McGregor was stronger, and I was feeling good, but it was stronger. Nothing to say.
It was very, very exciting. You and McGregor running side by side in the 2 final portages, and then just continue the race.
Yes. The last 2 portages was really fast. We sprint a little bit in the run, but then when we turned against the wind, of course we struggled a little bit and tried to save the strength to the end.
And you won the European Championships, but now World Championships gold medal so far. So when will that come?
I don't know. Tell me. You tell me.
Next year?
I hope, of course. I do my best every races, and today I give it the best. The best was the first place. I'm very happy with that.
And it was a marvelous race. Congratulations once again, José Ramalho.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks to everyone online who's settled that dispute for me. is for crossing back through between the Finnish boys, which he didn't do, so sweating over. Everything's nice, everything's cozy again. It's lucky I failed to sit my ICF exam, which is about the rules of marathon racing. I missed that by a day, turned up a day late here and while the exams were going on, and it looks just as well because it looks like I might well have failed. So what a great race we've just witnessed. Every day we've seen good racing, and there's more to come tomorrow. Hank back out in the K2 tomorrow, and they've got a score to settle with the Hungarians. And on today's form, and with the way he raced today, I don't think he's going to feel too tired after today's race. Conservation was his main goal this afternoon, and he was 100% successful at that. And I'm not going to be brave enough to bet against him tomorrow afternoon. So keep the comments flooding in, guys, on the Facebook page and on the live feed. Stefan back from his interviews. 2 really good quality interviews there. 2 very different characters, but 2 of the world's best.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get the hold of Andy Burkett. He was taken to doping control.
Crossing the line from Germany, obviously a big cheer for him from the crowd. 586, Daniel Berger. Good point, Craig Flanagan. Seems you're in control of this rule thing. So Stefan, is there anything that Hank could have done better today? I'll give Stefan a couple of minutes while he organises his microphone.
I don't think so. He said himself that he contested the group in the middle of the race, and then he referred to you actually. He said that I did an Ivan Lawler. I just went for the V-wash all race through, and then just went in the final portage.
That's flattery indeed from someone like Hank. I mean, he did such a good job today, didn't he? There was just nothing. I don't think there was anything. Maybe you could pick that one portage where he didn't quite get in contact with the front group, but flawless, really flawless.
It was a great race.
Think anyone can touch him tomorrow?
It depends. K2 is another race.
It's such a straightforward course though today. And same tomorrow, it's going to be so hard to do damage to people. At least it was shallow. There were shallows last year. There was that really difficult bottom turn last year that the Hungarians did so well. Little things like that. There's not going to be those opportunities this year. And I think I'm going to put my money on Hank and Jasper for tomorrow's race. Hank's just too good today. And we'll finish today. He worked harder last year in the K1 race than he did this year. Much harder. So
he saved some strength also for tomorrow.
yeah. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, 2 very, very strong South African team tomorrow as well. And Hungary will be there, and certainly Portugal.
Good shouts coming in online for Japanese paddler there. So it's good night to all our viewers in Australia. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for your comments today, Brett, and your questions. Oh, and I think Craig Flanagan's opened himself up to some flack there, reminding the South Africans that they were beaten by the Japanese in rugby. That doesn't sit well with the South Africans, I'm sure. Just a few people left out on the water. And what are we looking forward to tomorrow, Stefan? We must have, let's get down to the schedule. Sunday morning, junior men's K2, junior men's C2. Middle session tomorrow, C2 men and K2 women. And to finish off our weekend, 2:15, K2 men's. Hopefully, a repeat of the quality we've just seen. We've got no reason to doubt that.
Used to be very good racing, both K2 women and men, and also the C2 racing. So we are looking forward to that tomorrow. According to the weather forecast, it will stay this way. So it's not that bad, a little bit rough, but that is part of marathon.
I tell you what, Stefan, this weekend's going to end exactly like the last one did, where we wish there would be more racing after that final race. It's building up and building up to such a big finish now. It seems a shame that it has to come to an end.
All good things has to come to an end, also this day, and we will end up with a prize-giving ceremony quite soon here.
In the meantime, I'm going to get the coffee on, so excuse me for a moment.
Could Christina Barak please come to receive her medal? Will Christina Barak from Serbia please come to the medal presentation area immediately? Thank you.
I saw it at the start. It's really difficult. You don't want to mention it. It's a tough call.
Christina Barrett to the medal presentation, please. Christina, will you come straight away? Thank you. gentlemen, the medal presentation for women's K1.
Meine Damen und Herren, die Siegerehrung im Kajak einer der Damen. Die Ehrung nimmt vor Herr Brandenburg, Board Member of the ICF. Er wurde unterstützt von Herrn Edwin Schabay, dem technischen Direktor der ungarischen Mannschaft.
The bronze medal for Serbia, Kristina Belok.
Die Bronzemedaille, der dritte Platz, Kristina Bilic, Serbien.
The silver medal for Hungary, Van der Kisling. The gold medal and world champion from Hungary, Renate Cei.
Die Goldmedaille und Weltmeisterin 2016, Renata Cei, Ungarn.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand for the national anthem of Hungary?
Meine Damen und Herren, erheben Sie sich bitte zu Ehren der Nationalhymne von Ungarn.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal presentation for the men's C1.
Meine Damen und Herren, die Siegerehrung im Kanadier einer der Herren. Die Ehrung nimmt vor Herr Istvan Raskuti, erster Vizepräsident der ICF. Ihm zur Seite steht Herr Robert Weiß, Teamleader der ungarischen Mannschaft.
The bronze medal for Portugal, Nuno Barros.
Die Bronzemedaille für Nuno Barros, Portugal.
The silver medal for Spain, Manuel Antonio Campos.
Die Silbermedaille für Antonio Manuel Campos, Spanien.
Don't tell him that. That might be enough motivation.
The gold medal and world champion from Hungary, Martin Kova.
Meister 2016, Morten Köhler, Ungarn.
You don't get that impression watching it.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand for the national anthem of Hungary?
Meine Damen und Herren, bitte erheben sich zu Ehren der Nationalhymne von Ungarn.
I can't get excited by the visual. It's only when you know the history of those two that I can generate some sort of excitement. If they were two brand new athletes, that feels like
Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Vielen Dank, Applaus für den Weltmeister 2016 und für die Platzierten. ich rufe auch zur Siegerehrung im Kajak einer der Herren. Ladies and gentlemen, the medal presentation for K1 men. Meine Damen und Herren, die Siegerehrung im Kajak einer der Herren. Die Ehrung wird vorgenommen von Herrn Jörn Kronberg, Board Member of the ICF, Chairman Canoe Marathon Committee. Ihm zur Seite steht Herr Nigel Briggs, Teammanager der Mannschaft von Südafrika. The bronze medal for Portugal, José Moreno. Die Bronzemedaille für José Moreno, Portugal. The silver medal for South Africa, Andrew Burkett. The gold medal and world champion from South Africa, Hank McGregor. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand for the national anthem of South Africa? Meine Damen und Herren, bitte erheben sich zu Ehren der Nationalhymne der Republik Südafrika. Bisschen Applaus für den Weltmeister 2016 und die Platzierten. Danke, meine Damen und Herren. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to finish the medal celebrations this afternoon by presenting the World Cups trophies to the winners of the major events in the world this year, plus the classic events. So that's being presented now. So the ceremony will begin. Ladies and gentlemen, the trophy presentations to the winners of the world ranking competition of the major events in the world this year, plus the classic series. The first presentation
presentation will be made by Isvan Vascuti, the ICF First Vice President, accompanied by Jorn Kronberg, the ICF Board Member and Chairman of the Marathon Racing Committee. First of all, the C1 trophy for women. The winner is Pauline Martin from France. The men's C1 trophy goes to Manuel Antonio Campos from Spain. The women's K1 trophy goes to Serbia, Christina Beckett. And the men's K1 trophy to Andy Burkett, South Africa. Final round of applause for all the trophy winners for all the competitions this year. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ja, liebe Sportfreunde, meine Damen und Herren, wo immer ihr mich auch hört, morgen früh, 9 Uhr geht's weiter. Bis dahin einen schönen Abend allerseits.